the damage that corruption has done to our country and will continue to do, I think it builds on us to condemn.
Thank you very much. I think the first thing I felt would have been done is the publicization of those 16 governors that went to court. These are very, very important, even in the fight against corruption. A hall of shame has to come on in this country, because I don't know what could have moved the governor to go against any war on corruption. Now, having said that, the Supreme Court has ruled as everybody knows it would have ruled, because it would have been very strange if the Supreme Court at the end of the day had said, no, EFCC is illegal.
It's an illegal body.
And I don't know even what they were thinking. I mean, those governors, I don't know what they were thinking. But then,
no, maybe they thought they could intimidate.
Yes, whichever way. But then, what is left now is for the EFCC to tighten its nose, to do much more, to keep these governors, because the state governments are centers of cash. You know, they are centers of resources. And because of that, they want a system where nobody checks them, where they have free rein to do with state money as they deem fit. I think the EFCC has to come on now with tighter policies to make sure that they are put on the dock, so that, having lost the battle to dismantle the fight against corruption, they should be at the receiving end of the fight against corruption. You know, so like I said, I didn't see any possibility that the Supreme Court would at the end of that accede to the request of the 16 governors, because it is strange. You know, it is strange.
And Peter, you know, for me, what intrigued me and became a source of embarrassment to me as a layman was a senior advocate of Nigeria.
A senior advocate of Nigeria, whoever he is.
No, just a minute.
He has interest.
Peter, just a minute.
Yes.
A senior advocate of Nigeria, who is a member of the inner bar, who should know the law better than the man on the street or at the bus stop. While the case was in court, had the temerity to write to the National Assembly that the EFCC is an illegal. Was he asking the National Assembly to revoke, to delve into a matter that is already in court, when he knows that that amounts to subjudice? That shows you clearly, like we say, it was the voice of Esau.
That's where I'm
but the hand of Jacob, how do you put it?
They said senior advocate of Nigeria may
be the voice of Jacob, but the hand of Esau.
An interested party. You know, he may be in chummy relationship with the governors for. You know what actually butters this kind of relationship? Self-interest, you know. So if he does thought letter, one is that now you look at it very well, like you say, it sounds unreasonable. But then he is pursuing a selfish interest. That he is pursuing the selfish interest does not mean that maybe the system will accede to him. Now, having done that, like I said, the best way to react for the EFCC, for the anti-corruption agencies, is to make sure that you tighten the noose on the governor, so that they know that nothing will spare them from
being called to question.
Scrutiny at the end of the day on how they use public funds, because that is the heart of the fight. The access to public funds. You know, they want a situation where nobody questions them. You use funds as you like, and all those things. And as I said, you use some to hire senior lawyers, in quote, you know, who will be writing nonsensical letters that they know will not cross the front desk. Just
like some of us son. After the 2023 presidential election. You can imagine telling us that if a winner does not score 25% in the FCT. I said in America now, we are waiting for them to come out
they have to say certain things to get the confidence of their clients, or to get their clients to pay them. At the end of the day, like I say, it's self-interest that rules the relationship between a lawyer and his clients. It's self-interest, because the lawyer may be looking at the money that is coming from the brief and be telling you, don't worry. When we go there, we prove to them that if you don't have 25% in Abuja, I will never be sworn as president. Even when they know that it is very, very
illogical and irrational.
That it will never fly. They know. But at the back of their minds, they know, because nothing sustains such argument. That's the same thing with this. And now, believing maybe you woke up one day and say, see, that EFCC is illegal. But
no, if the
EFCC have been operational for years.
From 2001.
Or previous governors never raised, or any other person, or even the so-called senior lawyer, maybe who may be holding their brief, never raised this issue.
Yes.
And you now suddenly felt that you will raise up that issue and it will fly. No problem. They will raise the issue. It is now left for the lawyers to, support them to continue. Because the more they proceed, the more money he makes at the end of the day. And these are not ordinary clients you talk about.
Yes.
They have
these are clients that have watches.
They sell covers to play with. All those things. Oh, why not? Let us go to the Supreme Court. But as I said, there had to be a National Hall of Shame. Yes, National Hall of Shame. A governor that ordered his attorney general or any lawyer to go to court
to challenge
the existence of
the fight against corruption
has to come under the National Hall of Shame, so that others will not take that excursion
line of
at the end of
shame.
the day. That's my own feeling. It will help in fighting corruption.
I agree with you. It's a shame that we live in a society today where people saddle with constitutional authority take the people who have entrusted them with that power for granted. If not, no responsible governor, no responsible and responsive, wielder of state authority should even be bold enough to challenge an institution, even if EFCC does not even have a legal backing. That it is the people that sat down in the People's Assembly and said, this body, we must fight corruption. We must ensure that resources meant for all of us is used for all of us and not for some few.
Sure.
Abba. The governors, it's a big shame, but we say big kudos to the Supreme Court for that landmark judgment. I think it has put paid to the attempts to have a free reign to our public resources. And to the EFCC, we want to admonish that this judgment is a confirmation of the trust of the Nigerian people.
So the government should fire their zeal to do more.
Absolutely.
To do more. There are many forms of corruption all over the place.
They should be giving more. They should be giving more resources and more tools to do their work. Well,
and they themselves should also be do the work with clean hands.
Yes.
Because there have been accusations.
No, accusations can fly, but we must ask for evidence.
There have been accusations that some operatives of VFCC use that to extort money from public officials.
Peter,
those things must be looked into.
Every institution have their own good and bad eggs.
Yeah.
But there's no serious institution or no institution established by state has the authority to deviate from the path that the Constitution has set for it, or else it will amount to an abuse of office and it will attract appropriate disciplinary actions. We have seen that done severally, and we can only call on the FCC leadership to ensure that its men are up and doing that. They remain focused.
The bad eggs within the system.
They remain focused. They remain, professional in their duty. The Nigerian people are with them. This fight against corruption, where we must all key into it to make our society better. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we want to call it a wrap on the first stanza of the program, The Conversation. We'll go on a short break. We'll be right back. Please continue to watch The Conversation coming to you from TV360 here in Lagos, Nigeria. We'll be right back. Yes, welcome back to the second stanza of the program, The Conversation, coming to you from TV360 here in Lagos, Nigeria. My name remains Nelson Ekujumi, and I still have with me in the studio Peter Clever Opara. Peter, thank you for being with us today again.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. On this second stanza of the program, we want to look at the Nigerian Labour Congress directive to states affiliates that come December 1, states that are yet to put in place mechanisms for the implementation of the new national minimum wage should be ready for industrial showdown. And for us here, while we are very much in tune with the need for the state governments to ensure that they play their part with regards to implementing the new national minimum wage, we want to appeal to the NLC that that directing the states to embark on industrial disharmony is not the way forward on this matter. You recollect that in 2018, when former President Muhammadu Buhari signed the new national minimum wage to 30,000, as at May 29, 2023, when President Muhammadu Buhari was leaving office, over 26 states had defaulted in paying the then minimum wage. And even when that minimum wage bill was being debated, the Nigerian governors refused to be part. They said they cannot afford to pay it. But lo and behold, under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he signed the new national minimum wage into law. I think that was in August, if I'm correct. And as we speak, from 30,000 to 70,000. Because of his economic reforms, over 15 states have come out to say, I'm paying above 70,000 now, which is the minimum. A state like Lagos says she's paying 85,000. Rivers said 85,000. I think Oyo is paying about 75 to 80. So we want to use this medium. My opinion on the conversation is that the NLC should sheath the sword of that threat and allow the states affiliates to report back on their negotiations with their state government. Because I'm aware that there was even some state governments who have given a 2 months grace to still be paying the wage award pending when they will conclude the negotiation for the new national minimum wage. Because I know that new national minimum wage has templates that have to be worked on. So I don't think it is appropriate for us to have industrial disharmony in these states because of the minimum wage negotiations, which is yet to be completed. So I want to appeal to the NLC to sheath their sword and allow their states branches to conclude negotiations and report back to them. What I would expect the NLC to do is to set up a monitoring committee at the national level to interface that what is the situation in your states. How are you people coping with the arrangement? Is it okay? Have you people arrived at the conclusion? So that we don't have a situation where a state will say, I'm going to pay 75,000 publicly, and in the course of negotiation, we'll be paying maybe 71,000. That will be misleading the public.
Actually, I can say, oh yeah, well, we plead with NLC. As much as I don't approve of the ways of the present NLC leadership, I would find it very strange that some states are deterring on implementing that minimum wage. I have my reasons. My reasons are this. Now, when you look at what the situation was in the past, presently, there is a vastly improved cash flow for states to implement this.
Absolutely.
Secondly, because of so many policies like inflation or devaluation of the currency, subsidy removal, that 70,000 naira is not even something to go right home about. Yeah. But these policies have made it very possible for the states to make more money.
And be able to perform.
So why would they not pay? There is no reason why states should hold back these salaries. Paying them 30,000 naira at this stage is funny. It's ridiculous. And perhaps that was the reason.
It's even against the law as we speak. It's unconstitutional.
And that was the reason why that amount was reached. At least something that can keep workers going. Yeah. So I don't see why. Let the states that have not complied do so as soon as possible. But as you say, there should always be rooms for, concessions so that states can put their acts together. Whatever is the reason, making the states to deter as at present should be maybe you widen the time you give them so that they comply. After which, definitely, if there's any other measure they will take to get it, let them do it, because I don't see any reason why states, some states are still holding back on that minimum wage by this period.
Yes,
and I don't think it is in the intention or in the thinking of the president when he was doing all these negotiations and approving on this, that states will by now still be holding back, and they are getting a lot of money, as I said, as allocations every month. So why are they holding up the minimum wage? They should pay that.
No, yes, I agree with you. I don't want to believe that the states, I'm not speaking for them.
Yeah.
It's just my own thinking.
Yeah.
I don't want to believe that any state government that has the concern for the constitution, which talks about the welfare and well-being of the people, should at this stage withhold or embark on any act that will not make them no, it's unacceptable. We won't accept that. But what we are saying here is that the state branches of NLC, the Joint Negotiation Council, must ensure that they do everything within their power to conclude negotiations on time. And if there is any reason to shift, they should be able to relate back to the national body and say, look, we are having a fruitful deliberation. Please just give us.
The issue is that is there any negotiation going on? All the states that have already started implementation, what negotiation went on?
Peter, it could be that those ones that have started implementing it, maybe even before now, they were even looking at that larger picture. And when we arrived there, but the way some of our people do things, it's just like when we talk about. Just a minute, Peter.
It shouldn't take eternity.
Yeah, not eternity. No, it's just like when we talk about
from August to November, you would have put up everything in place because this thing have been going before August.
Yes.
I mean, this negotiation have been going before August.
Yes.
Every other state would have prepared their minds. This is the thing. And as I said, luckily, they are getting more money now.
Absolutely.
To do all those things.
There's no reason for them not to be able to pay.
They should be stocking. Like we have already stated that in the beginning. We said NLC should exercise some patience so that there will be room for harmony. Let there be harmony, because there is a supposition that when workers are at their place of work, they are generating more revenue that will make it possible for them to be paid. So if you now disrupt the flow of work, that means the revenue, the motivation
even will go down, the morale
will still go down.
And the revenue also will suffer.
Let them exercise some patience. But then much of the onus was on the governors.
Absolutely.
To speed, if like you say, 15 governors are already. What are the rest? I
don't know. I've not
21 governors.
I don't know. I've not been appointed as their spokesperson.
Yes. What are the 21 other governors waiting for? Let them quickly do that so that we will not have a situation where we relapse into a state of industrial disharmony again. Within this, let us see how we can address the larger problems facing Nigerians.
I agree with you absolutely. And from the conversation, we as much as we are appealing to the NLC to be a little bit patient, we also must call on the state governments that they should speed up the negotiations. And we call on the branches of NLC. We don't know who is responsible, because the state government alone cannot unilaterally fix those templates. It has to be a joint effort. They
force on the state governments to call on labor. This is what we have, and if there is another need for another negotiation, they do it there. It's the state government that will convoke the.
Yes, I know that. We are just calling on them to speed up the negotiations so that we all will be at par with the provisions of the Constitution. Because as we speak today, any employer of labor who is paying below 70,000 naira, which is the national minimum wage in Nigeria, is in breach of the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
And that includes private employers. So.
Absolutely, yes.
So who is implementing that? How are we implementing that one?
Well, I think the labor unions should take up that fight. It's not.
Okay.
So if as an
if it is fightable.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we want to call it a wrap on today's edition of The Conversation. We've had a very beautiful conversation here in the studio, and I hope you have also enjoyed listening to us. Well, we want to take the conversation further. We will discuss more as the days progress. Till we come your way again next time, please continue to watch The Conversation from TV360 in Lagos, Nigeria. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
Because when you go into public office, you must be ready to answer to the people.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians are saying in this part of the world.
The new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.